Human history cannot be understood without the influence of England, a nation that has been both the setting and the protagonist of some of the world's most momentous moments. From its role as a key province in the vast Roman Empire to standing at the heart of a monarchy that left its mark on a global scale, England has woven a unique heritage that has shaped the course of civilizations. Every corner of this land is home to captivating stories, legends, and symbols that invite us to travel back in time, connecting our present with the more distant echoes of the past. On this journey, we will visit some of England's most iconic places, where history comes alive in every stone and every landscape. From the legendary Baths of Bath, vestiges of Roman occupation that transport us back to a time of splendor and sophistication, to the majesty of Westminster Abbey, witness to centuries of royal coronations and historic events that have shaped the course of the nation. Or the enigmatic Stonehenge, a space that still defies our understanding today, as well as Glastonbury Abbey, shrouded in legends that intertwine the spiritual with the mythical. Stonehenge, located on the Salisbury Plains in southern England, is one of the world's most fascinating and enigmatic prehistoric monuments. Consisting of a circle of huge standing stones, some of which are over 4 meters high and weigh over 25 tons, the site has captivated generations with its mystery and majesty. Its construction dates back some 5,000 years to the Neolithic period, with various phases of construction spanning several centuries. Despite the time that has passed, Stonehenge remains a symbol of the ingenuity and organization of the ancient societies that erected it. The exact purpose of Stonehenge is still the subject of debate among experts, although the most widely accepted theory suggests that it served as a ceremonial and burial site. Its alignment with the summer and winter solstices indicates that it may have been used as an astronomical observatory, allowing its builders to measure the passing of the seasons and organize their agricultural calendar. In addition, excavations have revealed that the surrounding area was filled with burials, reinforcing the idea that Stonehenge had a ritual function linked to the cult of the dead and a connection with the divine. During the summer solstice, at sunrise, sunlight shines precisely through one of the stones known as the heel stone. This beam of light strikes directly on the central axis of the monument, illuminating the heart of the stone circle and creating a perfect alignment that still surprises experts today. This phenomenon demonstrates that Stonehenge was not only a ceremonial space, but also a sophisticated astronomical observatory, designed to measure the passing of the seasons, which would have been vital for the agricultural communities of the time. Beyond its original purpose, Stonehenge has become a universal symbol of mystery and human spirituality. Its construction, which required monumental effort and advanced engineering expertise, reflects its importance to prehistoric communities. Today, it remains a place of inspiration and fascination, attracting millions of visitors from around the world who seek to understand its significance and feel a connection to a distant past. Stonehenge is not only a testament to human ingenuity, but also a reminder of how ancient cultures sought to understand and make sense of the universe around them. Glastonbury Abbey, located in the county of Somerset in southwest England, is one of England's most iconic historic sites. Although its origins date back to the 7th century, it is believed to have been the site of much older religious settlements, possibly dating back to Celtic times. During the Middle Ages, the abbey became one of England's most important religious and cultural centres, reaching its peak in the 12th century with extensive rebuilding after a devastating fire in 1184. For centuries, it was a symbol of the church's power and influence, as well as a place of worship and pilgrimage until its dissolution in the 16th century by order of Henry VIII during the Anglican Reformation. But what really distinguishes Glastonbury Abbey is its deep connection with the legend of King Arthur. In 1191, monks at the abbey claimed to have found the tombs of Arthur and his wife, Queen Guinevere, in the monastic graveyard. According to accounts, the tombs were marked by a lead cross with a Latin inscription identifying the legendary king. The supposed find was seen as an extraordinary event that attracted pilgrims from all over Europe, making the abbey a place of enormous cultural and spiritual significance. Although some historians believe the story was an attempt by the monks to raise funds after the fire, the association with Arthur cemented Glastonbury as a focal point of Arthurian myth. Beyond the legend, Glastonbury Abbey was also a place of innovation and learning during its medieval heyday. The monks who inhabited the monastery not only devoted themselves to prayer, but also played a key role in education, agriculture, and the preservation of knowledge. The abbey became a focus of culture and wealth, with impressive Gothic structures that even today, despite being in ruins, are evidence of the architectural magnificence of their time. The city of Oxford, located in the heart of England, is one of the country's most iconic cities, world-renowned for its prestigious university and rich cultural history. Known as the City of Dreaming Spires due to the beauty of its Gothic and Renaissance architecture, Oxford has been an important academic, intellectual and tourist centre for centuries. Its cobbled streets, ancient buildings, and picturesque canals make it a unique place where past and present intertwine harmoniously. Oxford University, founded in the 12th century, is the oldest English-speaking university in the world and one of the most prestigious educational institutions globally. Its structure is unique in that it is made up of 38 separate colleges, each with its own history, traditions, and operations. The most famous colleges, such as Christ Church, Magdalen, and Balliol, are true symbols of the city and have been home to such illustrious personalities as J.R.R. Tolkien, Lewis Carroll, and several British Prime Ministers, including Winston Churchill. Oxford is famous not only for its academic excellence, but also for its cultural heritage. Its libraries, such as the Bodleian Library, are true gems of knowledge, housing millions of priceless volumes and manuscripts. In addition, the university architecture, with its chapels, gardens, and cloisters, reflects centuries of history and tradition. Every corner of the city breathes the spirit of the great thinkers and writers who have passed through its halls, making it a unique place in the academic world. Bath, England's Georgian jewel, is a city known for its extensive history, elegant architecture, and legendary hot springs. Situated in the southwest of the country in the county of Somerset, Bath owes its name and fame to the Roman baths that still bear witness to the splendor of Roman times. The city, a UNESCO World Heritage Site, attracts thousands of visitors every year who want to immerse themselves in its fascinating past and enjoy its unique atmosphere. Bath's Roman baths stand as one of the best preserved archaeological sites in the UK and a reflection of the Roman impact on the island. Built around 60 AD, the baths take advantage of the hot waters that naturally emerge from the earth, with temperatures approaching 46 degrees Celsius. The Roman baths were considered by the Romans to be holy waters. The Romans considered these waters sacred and dedicated the complex to the Celtic god Sulis, associated with the Roman Minerva. Over the centuries, the site served not only as a center of relaxation, but also as a place of worship and sociability for the Roman elite. The heart of the complex is the Great Bath, a monumental pool surrounded by columns and sculptures that transport visitors to the daily life of ancient Rome. Although today the water in the baths is not suitable for bathing, tours allow visitors to explore the original infrastructure, such as the underground heating systems and drainage channels, which demonstrate advanced Roman ingenuity. In addition, the accompanying museum houses an impressive collection of artifacts, including mosaics, altars, and votive offerings thrown by pilgrims into the sacred spring. Our next destination on our route through historic England is York, a city that perfectly combines the majesty of its past with the charm of its present. Renowned for its rich history and imposing architecture, York offers an unforgettable experience for any history buff. York Minster, also known as York Minster, is one of England's most important architectural gems and a symbol of medieval European Gothic architecture. With its imposing structure, this cathedral dominates the landscape of York and has more than 800 years of history. Its construction began in 1220 and was not completed until the 15th century, reflecting the dedication and mastery of generations of architects and craftsmen. Among its most notable features are the enormous stained glass windows, such as the Great East Window, which is the largest medieval stained glass window in the world, and its central tower, from which spectacular views of the city can be seen. The interior of York Minster is a space that impresses with its beauty and scale. The main nave, with its soaring ceilings and stone columns, is an inviting environment that reflects the ingenuity and dedication of its builders. Its side chapels are decorated in exquisite detail, and the choir is a masterpiece of medieval carpentry. In addition, the reliefs and sculptures that adorn the cathedral tell stories full of symbolism, while the light that passes through its stained glass windows creates a unique play of colors that transforms the atmosphere into an almost magical space. Alongside the cathedral, York walls complete the experience of this city steeped in history. More than 3 kilometers long, these medieval fortifications offer a unique opportunity to enjoy panoramic views and explore York's past. Our journey through historic England takes us this time to Canterbury, in the county of Kent, a city steeped in history and spirituality and known worldwide for its magnificent cathedral. Canterbury Cathedral, a UNESCO World Heritage Site, is one of England's most iconic churches and the heart of the Anglican Communion. Founded in 597, it is the result of centuries of building and alterations that have resulted in an impressive Gothic edifice, with Norman and Romanesque elements. Its majestic arches, soaring columns, and stained glass windows depicting biblical episodes create an atmosphere of seclusion and beauty like no other. The history of Canterbury Cathedral is marked by the murder of Thomas Becket, one of the most tragic and significant events of the English Middle Ages. Becket, Archbishop of Canterbury and longtime friend of King Henry II, was murdered inside the cathedral in 1170 by knights in the monarch's service, following a protracted conflict between the two over the boundaries of ecclesiastical and royal power. This act made Becket a martyr and the cathedral a place of pilgrimage that attracted thousands of devotees for centuries, cementing its role as the spiritual center of England. The interior of the cathedral is an architectural marvel and a testament to the past. Highlights include the Trinity Chapel, built specifically to house Becket's relics, and the crypt, one of the oldest parts of the structure, where Norman frescoes can still be seen. The cathedral's stained glass windows are another of its great treasures. They depict scenes from both the Bible and the life of medieval pilgrims, providing a valuable visual record of the period. The silence and light filtering through these stained glass windows make each visit a deeply moving and spiritual experience. Our journey through historic England continues to Warwick in Warwickshire, home to Warwick Castle, one of the most spectacular and best preserved medieval castles in the country. It is home to Warwick Castle, one of the most spectacular and best preserved medieval castles in the country. Originally built by William the Conqueror in 1068 as a wooden fortress, this imposing castle was transformed over time into a stone structure that has withstood centuries of battle, intrigue, and architectural transformation. Its strategic location on the banks of the River Avon made it a key point during the 100 Years' War and the Wars of the Roses, securing its place in English history. Over the centuries, the castle has been extended and remodeled, reflecting the styles and needs of each era. The towers and ramparts, some of which reach impressive heights, provided defense against invaders, while the castle's opulent interiors testify to its later transformation into an aristocratic residence. Among its highlights are the clock tower, the Great Hall and the chapel, each filled with historical and decorative details that transport visitors back in time. One of the castle's main attractions is its dungeon, where visitors can learn about the punishments and dark legends surrounding this place. In addition, the castle's extensive gardens, designed by the celebrated landscape architect Capability Brown, are a haven of natural beauty that complements the historic grandeur of the setting. Dover Castle, known as the Key to England, is one of Britain's most iconic and strategic castles. Perched atop the iconic White Cliffs of Dover, in the county of Kent, this castle has served as the first line of defence for England for over 2,000 years. Its privileged position overlooking the English Channel made it an essential point for protecting the south coast from foreign invasion, from Roman times to the Second World War. Originally built as a fort by the Romans, the castle we know today was developed during the reign of Henry II in the 12th century. Its massive design and keep, which dominates the landscape, are outstanding examples of medieval military architecture. During subsequent centuries, the castle was reinforced and modernized to suit the needs of defense, making it an impenetrable fortress. Among its most notable features are the impressive ramparts, underground tunnels, and its strategic position offering spectacular views of the sea. Dover Castle also played a crucial role in historical events. It was a key stronghold during the Norman invasion, withstood sieges during the 100 Years' War, and served as a military base during the Napoleonic conflicts. In World War II, its underground tunnels were reused as a military operations center, and it was the site of the famous 1940 evacuation of Dunkirk, known as Operation Dynamo. This aspect of its history adds a fascinating modern dimension to its heritage. Today, Dover Castle is one of England's top tourist destinations, managed by English Heritage. Hampton Court Palace, situated on the banks of the River Thames in the county of Surrey, is one of England's most iconic palaces and a living testament to the history of the British monarchy. Originally built by Cardinal Thomas Wolsey in the 16th century, this majestic building was acquired by Henry VIII, who transformed it into one of the most splendid royal residences of his time. With its mix of Tudor and Baroque architecture, Hampton Court reflects the changes in royal style and power over the centuries. The palace is famous for its close association with Henry VIII and his 6 wives. The vast Tudor kitchens, designed to prepare banquets for hundreds of guests, are a reminder of the excesses of the King's Court. Another highlight is the Great Hall, decorated with Flemish tapestries and once the heart of court life. The Chapel Royal, with its impressive Gothic-style ceiling, is still an active place of worship and is one of the most beautiful corners of the palace. In addition to its Tudor history, Hampton Court was extensively renovated during the reign of William III and Mary II in the 17th century, who added the elegant Baroque architecture designed by Sir Christopher Wren. This transformation included the creation of the impressive formal garden surrounding the palace, including the Great Parterre, the Privy Garden and the famous Labyrinth, which continues to attract visitors with its unique design. Windsor Castle, located in the county of Berkshire, is the oldest and largest inhabited castle in the world. Founded by William the Conqueror in the 11th century, this majestic building has been an official residence of British monarchs for over 900 years, making it a prominent symbol of the history and continuity of the English monarchy. Its strategic location on a hill overlooking the River Thames allowed it to serve as both a defensive fortress and a luxurious royal residence. Over the centuries, the castle has evolved considerably, adapting to the tastes and needs of each monarch. One of its architectural jewels is St. George's Chapel, a magnificent example of the Perpendicular Gothic style. This place is not only an important spiritual centre, but also the final resting place of numerous monarchs, including Henry VIII and Queen Elizabeth II. Another highlight is the State Wing, where visitors can admire the sumptuous rooms decorated with works of art, tapestries, and furniture reflecting the wealth and power of the monarchy. The castle has also been the scene of important historical events, such as the investiture ceremonies of the Order of the Garter, the oldest order of chivalry in the world. During the Second World War, it served as a refuge for the royal family and their treasures, ensuring their protection in times of conflict. More recently, Windsor has been the site of royal weddings and celebrations that keep it a living symbol of the British monarchy. Today, Windsor Castle remains the official residence of the royal family and a top tourist destination. We end our tour of historic England in London, the capital of the country. Founded by the Romans as Londinium in the 1st century AD, the city became a thriving commercial centre thanks to its strategic location on the River Thames. Over the centuries, London has witnessed history-making events such as the Norman Conquest, the Black Death, the Great Fire of 1666 and the Second World War, which left scars that are still visible today. Today, the city combines its fascinating historical legacy, represented by monuments such as the Tower of London and the Palace of Westminster, with a vibrant modernity, establishing itself as one of the world's most important cultural, financial and political centres. The Tower of London, located in the heart of the English capital by the River Thames, is one of the most iconic and emblematic fortresses in the United Kingdom. Founded in 1066 by William the Conqueror, this historic building has served multiple functions throughout its nearly 1,000-year history, from royal palace and prison to armory and mint. Its imposing white tower, the central core of the fortress, is a magnificent example of Norman architecture and a reminder of medieval might. Over the centuries, the Tower of London has been the scene of important historical events, some of them tinged with tragedy. Within its walls, the executions of notable figures such as Anne Boleyn and Lady Jane Grey took place, making it a symbol of intrigue and power. The fortress has also served as a prison for illustrious figures, from dethroned kings to World War II spies, cementing its reputation as a place steeped in dark and fascinating history. One of the most valuable treasures housed in the Tower of London is the Crown Jewels, an impressive collection that includes the imperial crown of state and the scepter and cross, decorated with some of the world's greatest and most famous gems. Visitors can admire these relics of the British monarchy in a setting that highlights their magnificence and ceremonial significance. Tower Bridge, one of the most recognizable icons of the British capital, stands over the River Thames, connecting the banks of the city with the district of Southwark. Opened in 1973, the present bridge replaced a medieval structure that had witnessed centuries of history, from the 11th century to the late 19th century. With its modern architecture and two 65-meter-high towers, Tower Bridge is famous not only for its function as a transit route, but also for its iconic ability to rise to allow ships to pass. This symbol of British engineering remains a major tourist attraction, attracting thousands of visitors each year who marvel at its panoramic views and historical significance. The Houses of Parliament, also known as the Palace of Westminster, is one of London's most iconic structures and a symbol of the British political system. Situated on the banks of the River Thames, it is home to the House of Commons, the place where democratically elected members of Parliament, known as MPs, debate and pass laws, oversee the actions of the government and represent the interests of the people. The House of Lords, on the other hand, is an unelected institution that acts as a review and advisory body, composed of Lords for Life, bishops and hereditary members. The two chambers work together to ensure a balance between democratic representation and detailed scrutiny of legislation. Next to the Palace of Westminster is the famous Big Ben, the country's largest tower clock, whose unmistakable sound has marked the passing of time in London since 1859. Although the name Big Ben actually refers to the bell in the tower, the image of the clock has become synonymous with the City of London. St. Paul's Cathedral is one of London's most iconic buildings and a jewel of English architecture. Situated at the top of Ludgate Hill, it is the seat of the Bishop of London and a place of worship with over 1,400 years of history. The present cathedral was designed by architect Sir Christopher Wren after the Great Fire of 1666, and its impressive dome, the second largest in the world, dominates the city's skyline. As well as being a place of prayer and reflection, St. Paul's has witnessed important historical events, such as the wedding of Charles, Prince of Wales, and Diana of Wales, and the funeral of Winston Churchill. Its Baroque architecture and imposing presence in the London landscape make St. Paul's Cathedral a site of great cultural significance and one of London's major tourist attractions. Buckingham Palace, the official residence of the Queen of the United Kingdom in London, is one of the most representative buildings of the British monarchy and a symbol of royal power and tradition. Located in the heart of the city, the palace has been the residence of British monarchs since 1837 and is known for its elegant neoclassical architecture. With an impressive facade and its famous gardens, Buckingham Palace is not only a place of residence, but also the setting for official events and ceremonies of great importance, such as the changing of the guard ceremony, which attracts thousands of tourists every day. Over the years, the palace has witnessed key historic moments, and its imposing presence in the London landscape remains a symbol of the stability and continuity of the British royal family. Westminster Abbey, one of London's most iconic buildings, is a place of great historical and religious significance. Founded in the 10th century and rebuilt in the 13th century, the Abbey is known for its impressive Gothic architecture and its role as a coronation site for British monarchs since 1066. Its facade, with its detailed stained glass windows and majestic central nave, attracts thousands of visitors each year. In addition to its religious importance, the abbey has been the scene of royal weddings, state funerals, and other national ceremonies. Within its walls, Westminster Abbey houses the tombs of key historical figures such as Isaac Newton, Charles Darwin, and the poets Geoffrey Chaucer and William Shakespeare. Its Poets' Corner has become a place of literary pilgrimage. Every corner of this monumental building tells a story that connects the past with the present.